On Saturday, July 19th, we're going to see the return to the ring of Manny Pacquiao, multi-division world champion and Hall of Fame fighter, as he takes on WBC welterweight champion Mario Barrios. This is the first big-time fight for Barrios, and will he be able to be successful against a legend, or will he crumble? Let's talk about it. WBC title holder Mario Barrios finds himself in a precarious situation. As the title holder for the WBC, he has been waiting for an opportunity for a big-time money fight. And in steps Hall of Famer Manny Pacquiao. And this is an opportunity for Barrios to not only secure his future economic-wise, however, if he's able to turn back this legend, as it is ordinarily supposed to be the case due to the particularity of the stats, Pacquiao is now 46 years of age, way beyond his heyday of being an exciting fighter and one who could enthrall the audiences with his performances. Barrios has found himself where, though he has fought the likes of Yordenis Ugas and Keith Thurman and Gervonta Davis, he still hasn't hit home convincingly to let people know that he is the man at this division, at least one of. You see, he's 30 years of age now, in a prime, whereas Pacquiao is 15 years his senior. And after the wars and really 70 fights, Pacquiao, this is a great opportunity for he has a payday, but realistically, should the consideration be there? Pacquiao is still a southpaw fighter, but at 5'5.5" against the longer, taller, lankier, younger Barrios, who's 6 feet with a 71-inch reach. The odds are stacked heavily against Pacquiao. And just imagine that if Barrios were to lose this match, he would really be hurting in his career. Barrios' record is 29-2 with 1 draw, 18 KOs. And it's amazing that he was once fighting so low at the 140-pound division, and at one time was down at 130. It's like amazing that he was able to make that weight. But he is now a full-fledged welterweight. And though there's not a lot of noted punching power there, the physicality that could come into play should be an issue for the aging Pacquiao. Pacquiao is bringing his record into the fight against him at 62 wins, 8 losses, and 2 draws. And there was one time when Manny was stringing together knockouts, so much to the degree that there were those who were questioning if he was legitimate. 39 KOs as he moved up through the divisions. He also was once down at the weight classes that were so low. We're talking about the 107-pound division. We're talking about a very small man. From a technical aspect, what we're looking at here with Pacquiao versus Barrios is Pacquiao should be at an extreme disadvantage. He likes to leap in with his shots, and Barrios' height and reach advantage should really be able to assist he being successful at maintaining Pacquiao from a distance. Overall, I would like to see Barrios win this fight and not Pacquiao, because Pacquiao is 46 years of age. If they want to continue to push the envelope for these older fighters, what it will also lead to is trauma down the line, because as the older you are, it takes years for the effects to show up on what happens from ring trauma. I don't want to see men in their 60s and 70s having dementia and such. Fighters should retire and leave the sport to the younger men. Now, also on the card is an interesting rematch that'll take place between Tim Tszyu and Sebastian Fundora. Now, these two men faced one another, and it ended in a bad way. What we saw when Tszyu and Fundora fought the first time, it started out with Tim Tszyu, who at the time was the world title holder, being in a position to really take the fight to Fundora and show that he was the man at 154 pounds with that IBF title that he had. It turned out that a severe cut caused by an errant Fundora elbow over Tim's scalp, and it bled profusely through the fight. He ended up losing a split decision to Fundora. And that was bad because Fundora was able to win a title when it seemingly early on prior to the cut looked like he was on his way to a loss. What I also didn't like about this was the fact that with everything that went down, Tszyu's corner couldn't recognize the position that their fighter and champion at the time was in, that they didn't want to stop that fight and let it go to the scorecards or be declared a non-contest. So we were left with what was a very ugly affair. The fight is now, 2 years removed from when it took place. We're going to see what happens going forward if Tszyu, who also lost to Bakram Murtazaliev, is back in a position to be at the championship level, or will the damage that he sustained in the Murtazaliev fight show up? This is a question that can't be answered easily, so they need to pay close attention to the fighters as they enter this bout. From a technical standpoint, I could actually see Fundora trying to box as he did in the second portion of the original fight to keep Tim Tszyu at bay, something that his trainers were trying to get him to do before the cut incident and the bleeding and the profuseness of the bloodletting in that fight. He began to box from distance and was able to win that decision as a result of, whereas he had always been more comfortable fighting close and inside. And so that's the advantage that he had that he wasn't utilizing against Tszyu. So he may enter the rematch looking to do the same. Now, another fight that we have where we're going to see Angel Fierro trying to duplicate his victory over Isaac Cruz, where he won a unanimous decision when they fought back in February of this year. Cruz, who's a one-dimensional, exciting, crowd-pleasing fighter who likes to get on the inside and throw hooks and uppercuts and be overall imposing with a physicality that is predicated on inner fighting and infighting. It turned out that Fierro was not only able to take it, but he was able to dish it, and to the degree that he exposed the single dimension of Cruz's fight game and was able to take him apart while doing so, on to an easy unanimous decision. Cruz made his name by fighting the likes of Gervonta Tank Davis. He was never really a top-tier fighter, but had the opportunity to get that exposure, which netted him an opportunity for finances. Also, it netted him an opportunity to get in front of the masses. He's had fights against Jose Valenzuela, Rolly Romero, Giovanni Cabrera, and Yuriorkis Gamboa. Those are names that have placed him in a position to be a winner, and he's shown himself to be that. But Fierro may just be that guy who has his number. And if it is, at the end of the day, that's going to be an exciting thing. But what do you think? This is Stormy B-Man. Shout out to the mighty LDBC and Liberated Perspective, a third eye view of the world. For more content such as this, please like, comment, subscribe, and share. Let me know if you intend to tune into the pay-per-view that is Pacquiao versus Barrios. Leave comments and let's discuss further. Peace to everyone out there, and everyone please remain safe.